I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. You didn't hear anything. Nope, not at all. I definitely don't secretly like Barbie Girl or Aqua for that matter. Same with any other bands like Backstreet Boys, as I definitely never wanted that way. Tell me why? Hey everyone, Total Level here with another My Top 5, this time talking about gaming guilty pleasures. We all have those games that we feel some guilt for enjoying, whether they are games targeted towards a much younger audience than yourself, very violent video games, ones with lots of fan service, ooh la la, or even those that you know are really bad games but enjoy them anyways. Still haven't met anyone that actually enjoys Superman 64 in a non-ironic way, and you're lying if you say you're one of them. So, without further ado, these are my top 5 guilty pleasure video games. Hope you all enjoy. So at number 5 I have the Naughty Bear games. So yeah, not only are these pretty terrible games and all that, but they're also incredibly violent, considering like it's just kind of stuffed teddy bears, but the whole story is basically all these bears gather for a party. They don't invite Naughty Bear, he even brings a present, all the bears laugh at him. So he decides to kill them all, make them punish, and yeah, so a lot of this game is supposed to be kind of, like the Hitman games, but with bears, and it's just super silly, super violent for what it is, and for whatever reason, I just enjoyed this game, because yeah, it's terrible in the sense that even if people see you, you can just go in the grass and you're all of a sudden hidden from everyone. Like, it's a super easy game, which is probably why I don't mind playing it, and yeah, I just feel terrible for enjoying this because it is quite gruesome what you do in this game. And then in Panic in Paradise, you also get to be more like Hitman and like grabbing bears, taking them to the grass, and then stealing their outfits as you kill them and disguise yourself, right? But man, I just have fun with both these games, and yeah, I recognize how terrible they are, how terrible I am for enjoying them, and that's why it's a guilty pleasure of mine. Then at number 4, I have just LJN games. A lot of us grew up with these, so this is purely, very just kind of nostalgic why I enjoy these games, just like a lot of other people do, because most of them are terrible. There are a few not too bad games, like I think Alien 3 is a pretty good game, along with Spider-Man Venom Maximum Carnage. I really enjoy that one, but there's a lot of bad ones, like a lot of us grew up playing games like Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th, which are very difficult, very confusing to play. Like, you don't really understand what you're supposed to do or how to accomplish, but still they're enjoyable to play. And I know as a kid I was also obsessed with like the Terminator 2 game on Super Nintendo, and just yeah, LJN, mostly just very terrible games and everything, but a lot of us really enjoyed them, and so yeah, that's why they're definitely a guilty pleasure of mine. I enjoy quite a few of their games despite knowing how bad they are. And at number 3, I have what I like to call seek and find games. So a lot of us know and grew up with a good number of point-and-click adventure games, or at least play them at friends' houses. A lot of the LucasArts ones of Grim Fandango, Day of the Tentacle, Sam & Max, everything like that, Double Fine, and of course Sierra ones, A King's Quest, but I'm talking about the really bad ones you can find on Steam. Like, there's a million of them. And they're all made by like the same 2 or 3 companies, and they're all pretty bad, where I just call them seek and find because all of them have kind of feature in them where you have to find certain objects in a pile of many objects, right? And man, I just enjoy these games like every time during the holidays, like right before Christmas or on Christmas. I love playing these as a great relaxing game for the holidays. Some of the puzzles are pretty clever too, but yeah, these games have pretty bad stories, terrible voice acting. Like, I'm guessing the developers do all the voice acting themselves because it is awful. And yeah, a lot of the, objects you get don't make sense because you'll have things like a knife and then it'll tell you, oh, well, you can't use the knife to cut this rope because you need some axe or something instead of the knife. So it's like, yeah, whatever, but because these games are never hard, you can always use hints and all that. They are just nice, relaxing games. And so yeah, it's definitely a big guilty pleasure of mine because I thoroughly enjoy all of these games, even though I don't remember anything of any of the stories, any of the characters, anything like that. They're just fun, relaxing, seek and find puzzle games for me to enjoy. At number 2, I have Yu-Gi-Oh! Games. So, out of all the trading card games and everything, I collected stuff like Pokemon and Magic the Gathering, but I never really played any of those. But Yu-Gi-Oh! I played a ton, and video games was definitely the biggest one I would play a lot of, and I love the Yu-Gi-Oh! Games, still love them to this day, at least the ones that, have the kind of first reign of characters, right? Like, I haven't really seen anything of GX or G5 or 5Gs or whatever. After kind of the original run, I never really watched Yu-Gi-Oh! In fact, I didn't really watch Yu-Gi-Oh! Until, like, pretty much after the Battle City arc. I watched a little bit of Season 4, but not too much, and yeah, but the Yu-Gi-Oh! Games I find really fun and fascinating, and yeah, this is just something where, unless you're a fan, you're probably not going to enjoy any of these games, but my favorites are the ones that are very creative with how they make the games. Like, they don't just follow the rules of the actual card game, they make kind of brand new games, right? So I really enjoy Capsule Monsters, which I know was kind of spin-off that was pretty bad sort of adaptation, the anime or something, but the game I really enjoy because it's like a tactical RPG style. Really enjoyed that one. Love Duelist of the Roses on PS2 also. And yeah, really love Sacred Cards because, yeah, it followed kind of the Battle City arc, just instead of Yugi being kind of the hero, you're the hero of the story, and, they changed some of the rules for that. It's a super easy game, but yeah, that's the one issue with Yu-Gi-Oh! Games is they have terrible balance issues where they're either super difficult, super easy, or the pacing is way off, right? And yeah, so Sacred Cards was way too easy, but still love it and really enjoy Dungeon Dice Monsters, even though there's a lot of RNG involved with that. I just really enjoyed it, and yeah, there's just so many Yu-Gi-Oh! Games that I enjoy, and my first one being Forbidden Memories on PS1, I believe that's what it's called, and yeah, really enjoyed that one, even though that one's a pain to beat. Like, it's really, really difficult because, yeah, RNG plays a huge role in that game, but yeah, either way, still enjoy Yu-Gi-Oh! Games, but yeah, for sure it's a guilty pleasure, right? And at number 1, this is something I talked about before, but yeah, I just love Dynasty Warrior type games, so doesn't necessarily have to be Dynasty Warriors, it could be any of your spin-offs or just kind of rip-offs or inspirations, whatever. I just love this style of gameplay so much. It doesn't matter if you got amazing games like, you know, we're seeing with a lot of kind of almost reskins of having stuff like Hyrule Warriors or, you know, Persona 5 Strikers and Dragon Quest Warriors or Heroes, sorry. You know, Fire Emblem Warriors is another one, but yeah, whether it's those ones or even kind of ones that definitely aren't nearly as good, like the 99 Nights game on 360, 1 and 2. Those aren't very good, but man, I just love this style of gameplay, and I think it's because it's the perfect guilty pleasure of just mashing one or two buttons to mow down hundreds, if not thousands of enemies at once, and is such an addictive gameplay style for me, you know, because you can pick whatever difficulty you want and just, you know, play for a few minutes, a few hours, doesn't matter. They're just perfect games for me to pick up and play because, yeah, there's no thinking involved in this. It's just like, here are a bunch of enemies, attack them, and, you know, if you get like your, you know, more higher ranked enemies to defeat or bosses, then yeah, occasionally you might have to block, but it's still pretty mindless button mashing, and just, I have such fun with these games that, yeah, it's for sure number one, because it doesn't matter if they're good, they're bad, they're ugly, they are fantastic games for me to play there. And those are my top 5 guilty pleasure games. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know what your favorite kind of guilty pleasure games are, you know, whether it's a single game or it's a series of games, gameplay style kind of, you know, ones that I picked, things like that. Do you agree, disagree? Would love to hear your thoughts. And I'll see you next Thursday for another My Top 5, along with other videos I do on my channel. Alright, thanks everyone, have a good one. Hey everyone, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to leave a like and comment, and subscribe if you want to see more, or if you just want to see any of my skits and then nothing else and leave the video, that's fine too. Thanks everyone, take care.